Hi everybody people, Anthony and Daniel, listen. I know I.B.F title important to you. Tell it my present to you on September 21. Guys.
Okay, so Usyk stripped of the I.B.F world title. What does that mean? Where we go from here? I think you know what that means. You probably heard it all over the place. But before that, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching this video. If you're new here, please consider liking and subscribing. Really greatly appreciate it. Join the conversation over around boxing. If you already subscribed, thank you for tuning right back in. Don't forget to put those notifications on because YouTube really sucks at sending the videos out. But please do that. So quickly, what does that mean for boxing? That Usyk was stripped. Well, it says that he asked not to be stripped at first because he wanted to kind of like do the whole thing and fight for undisputed rematch. That would have been great, right? Because the first fight was to make the undisputed, and now he has to defend it, right? And we thought we were gonna get that. Hergachik, you know the guy that Dubois fought. That was the mandatory for the I.B.F heavyweight title. That was the mandatory. The I.B.F said, "Cool, you can go ahead and fight for undisputed, but your mandatory is yeah, that guy." And so Dubois went ahead and fought him because the I.B.F said, "Well, listen, we got to move on with this, right? So we're gonna force the issue. We're gonna force the issue, and we're gonna make the winner of those two guys the interim. So now, from the winner of between Fury and Usyk, we'll have to defend the I.B.F title against the winner of Dubois and Gorbachev. I don't know. So that happened, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Nah, we gave you the pass. You were supposed to defend against this guy. You're telling us not to strip you, but we wouldn't have to strip you." So he kind of says he vacated, but in a sense he was stripped because the I.B.F would have stripped him anyway. Because they're very consistent, and when they say you need to fight your mandatory, now we'll all be mad and saying, "Hey, we're mad," because we wanted to see undisputed go being defended by Usyk. It would have been great. So now that means that Dubois is now the champion, really, because he was interim. So now he is the champion, and he's gonna defend his title on September 21st against Anthony Joshua, and he's gonna get brutally knocked out. I think. Dubois is good though. He might be the red herring here. But anyway, but the I.B.F has been very, very consistent with stripping the titles. We get mad at the WBC for not giving David Benavidez his title shot or stripping Canelo for not fulfilling his mandatory in David Benavidez. And here we have a governing body saying, if you don't fight your mandatory, we're going to strip you. And here we are getting mad about it. If more governing bodies did this, boxing would be in a better place. And whether we agree with the situation or not, we do agree, hey, it kind of spoils the fun of the rematch. I get it. The winner won't be undisputed, but they'll have to go ahead and probably fight for undisputed. But really, there'll probably be a trilogy fight, so they'll probably not end up fighting that person that now has the title, the other I.B.F. It is what it is, and I'm glad that the I.B.F is saying, hey, you need to wait this many hours, on fight night. Hey, if you're the champion, you're our champion, and you don't fight your mandatory who's worked hard for it, who's worked hard for that spot, we're gonna go ahead and strip you. I'm down with that. They did it to Bud. They did it to Usyk. Who else did they do it to recently? Another guy that did it to recently. But they're like, nah, man, you have to fight this mandatory. You have to do that. That is the obligation. That is what is going to make the rankings move. That's what's going to shift boxing around. That's what it's going to make the fights. The best fights the best. The number one fights the champ. Number one and number two fight. Then the winner of that goes and fights the champion. It makes sense. So we can't get mad at the fact that I.B.F went ahead and told Usyk, either you could go ahead and say you vacated, but we're going to strip you, so you might as well vacate. So that's really what happened. I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm happy that it happened because that means that the I.B.F is taking boxing serious and is taking the rankings serious, and they're saying you have to fight the top guys. If you don't do that, we can find somebody else to fulfill that, and we'll go ahead and move on. So I hope the other governing bodies, especially the WBC, which is the green belt, the recognized belt, right, the one that everybody aspires to get, will get behind and not just pick and choose who they strip and who they tell they have to vacate. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with this decision? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's all fair? It's all love and games? If how does that saying go? It's all fair, whatever. But you know what I mean. But anyway, leave you the comments down below. What do you think? And until the next video, I'm out. Peace.